Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Wednesday, February the 17th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Superstition. Just remember, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Superstition. What's that got to do with trading? A whole lot. You know, Stevie Wonder, when you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Okay? Now, there are so many things I've talked about in trading that are conceptual in nature. They don't exist. They only exist in somebody's mind. Um, there's some quotes I've read recently. One of them says basically that, most stuff's made up. It doesn't, it's just made up. It's kind of like the Matrix. Civilization, just about everything you think about, all these concepts that you've been taught, once again, conceptual. Somebody just made it up. Every law somebody made up, every rule somebody made up. It's just stuff's made up. And people make up stuff all the time. It's funny. I mean, very few things are real in a sense. That's why I like Deming when he said, if you can't explain what you're doing as a process, then you don't know what you're doing. Which then I derived my own quote. If you can't clearly define your terms, then you're just making stuff up, and that's just true. And then there's another a law or a principle somebody put out there saying that 90% of stuff is just crap. 90% of the books written, songs made, art produced is just crap. So I started to think about it. So that would mean, 90% of the stuff that I do is crap. And I have to just laugh at myself when I think about it. But, you know, what's all this got to do with trading? Well, to me, it has a lot to do with it because there's one guy out there that, you know, has a certain belief about me and about what I've done. And what I've learned in recent years is that no matter how many facts you have at your disposal, how much evidence, how much proof, if somebody has a belief, none of that matters, and it borders, like I said, on the superstition. So there's no way of changing their mind unless you can somehow get into their emotions. And, when I look back over my life, I can see, if anything, that's been my biggest problem. I've always thought that if you come at somebody with facts and logic and reason and evidence and testimony, that once you show it to them, they should be convinced. Not the case at all. Not the case at all. So, how can this help you in trading? I mean, when you think about it, that's why you watch my videos. You want to pick up something that'll help you. So, and hopefully make you more profitable, because, that's the only reason you're in this trading game, is to make money, to be profitable. That's just the bottom line. You're not really here for entertainment or anything else. So, how I think this can help you is that you can basically check yourself and see just how much belief you have versus facts. Recently, let me find the screen. I've been studying these order blocks. Where did I put it? Yeah, these order blocks that some traders have sent me some PDFs on. And nowhere in I think I've got maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 PDFs, and nowhere can I really find a real definition of order block. I mean, it's kind of sort of like a this, but not quite. And so I've contacted, some of these order block gurus, and they just can't give me a straight definition. And so, you know, it's almost like, if I start believing in something that I don't understand, I'm going to suffer. And that's what I want that's how I think this can help you. So if you're using something and you don't understand it, like stochastics, most people can't spell it, let alone define it, or let alone explain the formula, how it's derived. So if you're using stochastics, is it superstition? Or do you actually know what that indicator is doing and how it's doing it? Somebody asked me, they were saying, you throw up all these charts, but you don't explain, how I can use it to make money. And I say, well, most of the things I put up here are horizontal lines, or levels. So, these horizontal lines, each one of these levels, I mean, that's all it is. And how do you make money? Well, if price is moving up to a level and it hits that level, then either you trade with the candle color, or you expect it to reverse and you go against it. But the outcome's not guaranteed. You can think about it like when you go to the card table, or you go to the dice table, the crap table. Outcome is not guaranteed. I'm not saying this is totally gambling, but the one thing that this has in common with gambling is when you put your trade on or place your bet, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. You don't. You could roll snake eyes, you could roll craps, you could roll, a seven. You don't know. And that's trading. That's just the bottom line. Now, you have to realize that certain levels, price will do something. Price will move away from the open. So right here, this was the open of the hour. See, this is M1, and it's showing a blue line here up. So price has gone up from the open, but you can see here, price went to here, then it went to here, then it went to here, then it went to here. Now it's up to here, or here, went up to here, now it's down to here. So you see price moves, but what did it do? It moved away from the open, came back to the open, crossed the open, moved away from the open in the opposite direction, came back to the open and crossed it again. So can you make money just trading these opens? Well, yes, you can, especially if you're only trying to make a few pips here and there. I mean, if you would have taken this trade, you maybe made a pip this way, maybe you made 2, 3, or 4 coming back the other way. Maybe you made a pip, broke even, or maybe you stopped out. Maybe you stopped and reversed and you picked up a couple of more pips going down, then you came back the other way. I mean, that's just it. And that's what happens at every level. The open, the previous day's high or low, it gets to the pivot point, you fade the pivot. I've talked about that. In fact, that's what the trader was asking me about. So how can you make money off these pivots? And then they were confusing it with support and resistance. It's like, no, 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 no. Just get all those concepts out of your head and just realize, price, it's going to hit different levels and it's going to react at those levels. And, I've proven, over a decade ago, if I remember correctly, you can put some random lines on the chart and trade when price hits those lines. Look at what price is doing right now, okay? And one of the things that, Walmart knows this is when the pound gets in the 60s, it's usually going to range. And so he knows that just, go from the 60 up to about the 70 and back down to the 60. He knows that. He knows that from experience. But does it work every time? No, it doesn't. Just like I know if price gets to the 40s, chances are it's going to launch, meaning it's going to go up and go up, 20 pips or more up to the 60s. And then from there, maybe to the 80s or to the double low. But, are those superstitions? No, they're not. Why not? Because it's based on statistics. It's based in evidence, based in, data that's been collected. And that's why I write some of those indicators that, you know, do the frequency distributions and run the statistics. So when I place a trade, I usually believe, in this case, that I'm going to make a profit because statistics are on my side. And it's not any simpler than that. So, I mean, we can switch over here. You know, here's the Walmart chart. You know, we're in the 60 station. What happened here? Okay, what happened here? You know, when price leaves that 60 station, it usually, you know, makes a pretty significant move. Now, we were near the previous H1 low there, which was probably also near the daily low, which is probably the daily low, and then price reverse, so it would be in the rat zone. You know, one trader was talking about, well, you know, I don't think you can trade the rat zone. You make all these different things and blah, blah, blah. It's like, one, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Two, I'm just sharing methods. And the thing is, the rat zone isn't a method. It's just a place where price usually doesn't close in, you know, based on statistics. You know, it's pretty much just that simple. Oh, and if you're wondering about this indicator, it's a new one I wrote because I had so many lines on the chart. Sometimes things overlap, and it's like, I just want to know, is price near something? So here it's near an H1 close 60 bars ago. We had the price near indicator. So I'm just showing H1, but I might also want to have the daily and maybe the weekly and the monthly. But I only need, let's see, let's go back to let's just use the current previous. So right now we're not near anything. And I have defined near as 2 pips. Let's see, we could put maybe H4, but that would also be almost the same as an H1. So right now, price really isn't near anything. So you can see here, had you taken that trade, you could be up 4 pips right there, Walmart line. You know, something simple, just the horizontal line, price reacting at a level. You could have traded the open across here. You could have traded price moving across the 60 line if maybe you drop down to the M5 time frame. And you see here it moved across, came back, moved across, came back, moved across, and moved up. So pretty simple stuff. Oh, and by the way, also, if you notice over here, this says New York Open Kill Zone. This is based on something I read in those PDFs, so I updated the time indicator right here, and I posted it out on Crestlick, so you can download a copy of it, along with all the in the 2021 mother loads, and there's some pretty cool indicators in there too. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask out here on social media. I would prefer you ask on social media rather than email. That way more people can benefit from the Q&A. So, fellow traders, that just about wraps things up. So just, you know, try not to believe in things you don't understand when it comes to trading. Really, if you don't understand it, take it off your chart, because you know, chances are you're only going to suffer. So, you know, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.